Hey everybody, this is Danelle. Hope this finds you doing well. And it has been a week for crypto, a week for Ethereum, a week for Bitcoin, and a week for a lot of other digital assets. So much big news over this past week. But today we're going to talk all about Ethereum. It probably had one of the biggest weeks out of everyone. Let's go ahead and get to it. As you can see, Bitcoin is currently trading at $68,822, up 3.22% over the last 7 days. It actually touched about 70 to 71,000 over this past week, and now it's kind of lingering in that $68,000 range. We'll see if it'll make another leap up again going into this week. Ethereum, which we're going to talk about today, is now at $3,900. It is up over 26%, almost 27% over the past 7 days. It is nearing and inching closer towards $4,000 and its previous all-time highs. Then you can see going down the top 10, Solana currently trading at $166. It was up a little bit earlier in the week, but now it's kind of cooled off and now down 3.8% over the last 7 days. XRP trading at 53 cents, a little bit above that 50-cent range that it's been in, what seems like forever, up 3.43%. Dogecoin doing quite well, up 10% at over 16 cents. We have Toncoin at number 9 and Cardano rounding out the top 10, still hanging in there, trading at 46 cents. So if we look a little bit closer at the Ethereum chart, as you can see here, CoinMarketCap kind of gives you a note as to what was happening as the price was moving over this past 7 days. As you can see, it was trading at around $3,000 towards the beginning of last week. And then as soon as we saw that there were tweets coming in from analysts over at Bloomberg, they said that their approval chances have now gone up from 25 to 75%, because they were hearing rumblings from inside the SEC and from other institutions that were lobbying for a Ethereum ETF, starting to hear that there was a actual possibility that the Ethereum ETFs could be approved. The SEC had until the 23rd to make a decision on a couple of Ethereum ETF applications. They had been delayed multiple times, but then it gets to a point where the SEC has to make a final decision. Many believe that it was going to be denied. There was not a lot of communication going back and forth like there was right before the Bitcoin ETFs. And so that's why the odds were so low. But then there were rumblings that there was going to be a possibility for these Ethereum ETFs to be approved. And that's when Ethereum went on one of the biggest jumps that it had over a couple of hour time span. And you can see it went from just around $3,000 to upwards of $3,700. Then it traded in that range and has continued to trade in that range over the last several days, even after the the Ethereum ETFs were actually approved. It actually dipped down just a tad once that news came out, but now you can see over the last couple of days, it is now going up towards $4,000. So we could potentially see us ranging in this higher range in that $3,000, maybe $4,200 range. Time obviously will tell, but it could potentially be a while before we actually get the spot Ethereum ETFs traded on the market. There's another prong that needs to be satisfied with relating to some regulatory filings and SEC review that still needs to be done, and we'll get into that into a moment. But we just wanted to look at the charts to see what was actually happening this past week when that news of the SEC approving the spot Ethereum ETFs came out. So let's go to our trusty Investopedia.com. Here we talk about what is Ethereum. If you're not familiar with Ethereum, it is the second highest cryptocurrency by market cap, just behind Bitcoin, and it is you can see here, a decentralized global software platform powered by blockchain technology. So it is a blockchain, and it's known for Ether, which is the cryptocurrency that basically powers this particular blockchain. And it's a little bit different from Bitcoin. For one, it used to be proof of work like Bitcoin currently is, which is mined, and each Bitcoin is minted through mining. And Ethereum had a similar technology, but now it has changed over to proof of stake. But as you can see here, Bitcoin and Ethereum have many similarities, but different long-term visions. Ethereum introduced smart contracts where basically you can program or code money. So you can have smart contracts, which are basically, for example, NFTs are creating a contract between you and another person to transfer a JPEG, for example. It can be other things as well. But with NFTs, most of them are JPEGs, or they're known as being JPEGs and pieces of art and whatnot that are on the blockchain, and it is being transferred and can be transferred using code. So as soon as you transfer and meet the particular requirements of that contract in transferring that NFT over to another person, then that other person will receive the funds. And it happens through this smart contract, and only if all of the qualifications are met in that particular contract that was programmed, that was coded onto the blockchain, then and only then will that contract be executed. So there's no trusted third party that's needed in between. All you have to do is make sure that that program is coded correctly. So then that smart contract will be executed as it is coded. And as you can see, Ethereum is the foundation for many emerging technological advances based on the blockchain. So if we take a look at the Ethereum ecosystem, it is quite vast. If you see here, we have filtered the Ethereum ecosystem here on CoinMarketCap, and you have Shiba Inu, another hot and popular meme coin. You have DAI, you have Render, Mantle, Arbitrum, Ondo, Beam, WorldCoin, Sandbox. I mean, it goes on and on and on. When you look at all the layer 2 blockchains and all the different projects that are currently powered by the Ethereum blockchain. And so it is the biggest of them all. Obviously, Solana is right up on its heels in terms of how vast the ecosystem is, but there are a number of projects that are part of the Ethereum ecosystem. A lot of decentralized finance as well as NFTs, as we discussed, are powered by the Ethereum blockchain. So Ethereum is definitely a cryptocurrency and digital asset that institutions are looking at outside of Bitcoin. Many people look at Bitcoin as a store of value, as a commodity. Many people are now arguing that since the SEC did approve this spot Ether ETF, that they are also classifying Ethereum as a commodity. And we'll get into that in several weeks when we go and talk about the bill that is currently in legislation with the United States government. It has passed through the House. It's the FIT 21 Act. We'll get to that in a moment. We're not only seeing through the political system that Bitcoin and cryptocurrencies are going to be a theme for this upcoming election, but we have sovereign nations that are continuing to invest in it. We're seeing more public companies that are investing in cryptocurrency. So there's no doubt that crypto is here to stay. It is a burgeoning and emerging market, and obviously we want to keep you as informed as possible here at Networkchain. So Blockworks has a great article here, another cryptocurrency news outlet, and they have a great article when it comes to trying to digest and understand what the Ethereum ETF decision means. And it's not launching immediately, as you see here. We got one prong filled when it comes to the 19B4 documents, and that's a big step towards these funds launching, but it's not the only one. As you can see here, the SEC also needs to sign off on registration statements known as S1s, which are submitted by the fund issuers. And because we still need to have that greenlit by the SEC, it still could be some time before these Ethereum ETFs are actually traded on the open market. It could take anywhere from several weeks to potentially several months. So there's a possibility that even though there was some excitement and the Ethereum price went up due to the news of this impending approval, we still have to wait to see if these S1s are signed off on. And there's likely going to be a number of drafts and amendments that are going to be made over the period of time that it takes for all of these S1s to be approved and then put on to the open market. So you can see that there were several discussions leading up to the SEC's decision deadline for the 19B4 amendments earlier in the week. But because we are just now finding out that it was even a possibility that these Ethereum ETFs were going to potentially be approved, the S1s were not amended and there were no notes being taken between the SEC and the issuers leading up to this approval deadline. In the Bitcoin case, these S1s were being traded back and forth in terms of the information that was needed. And so that's why the Bitcoin ETFs were able to go onto the open market much sooner, basically within days of its approval. So it could take some time with this Ethereum ETF, but it also is looking like the SEC in essence is claiming that the Ethereum cryptocurrency is now considered a commodity. They haven't come out with any actual documentation or haven't made any actual comments with regards to this Ethereum ETF. So we'll definitely be looking forward to hear what they have to say, especially since they've taken action against other platforms and exchanges, including Coinbase, and had intimated that Ethereum was a security. So we don't have the clarity that we need to have a full understanding what cryptocurrencies are going to be considered commodities, what cryptocurrencies are going to be considered securities, which agencies are going to be responsible for not only educating really, but regulating and administering any type of legislation that is passed when it comes to these issues. So we still have a long ways to go, but the fact that we're here and we're at the point that we have U.S. presidents that are accepting crypto for donations for their campaign. I mean, there's a lot that is happening and starting to build up when it comes to understanding how digital assets will affect our life and how it's changing the financial landscape. So you need to make sure that you continue to learn as much as you can. Stay tuned here, obviously, with Networkchain. We'll keep you as informed as possible. Please make sure to keep up with us here on X as well as IG. We still have a lot to cover over these next several weeks. We try to post here nearly every day, so make sure to check us out here at X and on IG. In the meantime, we look forward to connecting with you on the Networkchain. And until next time, take care. Bye-bye.